Hi everyone, hope all of you are doing good. Today we are going to have a session on customer relationship management in Business Central. So this is a part 2 session. Earlier I have given the overview of customer relationship in Business Central, which is part 1, and where I have talked about the basic introduction of CRM, why we use CRM. So I would suggest if you are watching this video first time, please refer the link in the description for the first video. So I'm starting quickly with this video. So if you could see, there are the agenda. So what we are going to do today. So today we are going to, I will give you firstly the overview of customer relationship management part 1, interaction management, interaction templates, groups, interaction template setups, log entries, and cancellation of the interaction. So these are the things that we will consider today. So quickly moving to the slide, which we already have covered in the first video, but just for the understanding, I'm going through this basic CRM process. So if you see here, I have told you like we can use the CRM process to configure the marketing activities in the Business Central. So in this example, if you could see a salesperson which has connected to so many contacts, like the contacts could be person, contacts could be companies. So if you see first, Mr. John is the contact type person. Second one is the XYZ Limited, which is a company. So like that, this salesperson has connected to so many persons, which is contacts. And then he has interacted. Interaction means any type of communication that is being done by a salesperson or a company executive. It could be a purchase person. So that is called interaction. So for recording any kind of interaction, it could be a phone call, meeting, uh, anything which is sending a documents, cover sheets, questionnaires, everything could be recorded in Business Central. So for that, we are having an interaction management process that we will discuss today. So once we have an interaction, after discussing with the client with lot of things, we can have an opportunity and then we can create the sales codes if we want the opportunity. So you can see these all things in detail in my previous video. So I'm quickly moving to the interaction management process. Yeah. So if you could see here, what is interaction? Interaction means interaction, what we are communicating with the client, with the vendor, with the anyone, employees and bank accounts, since we can have four types of contacts in the Business Central. So whatever we are doing, we can record the interactions in Business Central, and we can associate estimated cost, estimated duration, so that we can also track, okay, what is the communication is being done for the particular contact, and based on that we can have our marketing decisions. So moving to Business Central. So this is the Cronus company that I'm having, and if you could see here, uh, this particular company, we are having a role center, which is called CRM, right? If you see here, Cronus UK Limited and Sales and Relationship Manager. So Sales and Relationship Manager can have this particular one where you could see lot of contacts, open opportunities, closed opportunities, user tasks, emails, everything you could see in this role center. So today's agenda is interaction. So quickly moving for that. So for an example, I'm into a contact, right? And this contact could be of any type, which could be customer, vendor, or anything. So currently we are considering customers, right? So what I'm doing in this contact card, we could see here some history. So this history basically belongs to interaction history, whatever type of interaction we have done with the customer or with this contact in any form. It could be email, it could be phone call, it could be sending a sales code. Those things can be recorded here. So if you see here, this is the communication address, details, and those sort of things. So before moving to that, I'm now going to interaction templates. So I'm just here in the interaction template one. And like we create any template for using the same type of things again and again, we can create the interaction template in Business Central, which allows us to generate or to connect different templates while making the interaction with the contacts. So I'm going through one by one field. If you could see, this is the code where we can have a unique interaction code. This particular field, which is an interaction group code, where we can divide the interactions into different groups. So if you could see, we are having a different groups of interactions, and inside letters, we are having different interaction templates which belongs to letter category, which could be a golf letter, which could be abstract, which could be a business letter. So like that, we are having a interaction group. So why we create or classify these interaction templates into different groups? So it helps us to see the group stats. What is the meaning of this? The meaning of this is like we can have the multiple interaction entries, which is where we can see the number of interactions. We can have the total number of durations for those interactions, which could be into minutes. You could see here by default, the value is minutes. So for an example, how for a business decision or a marketing decision, they could see, okay, this type of interaction, we have spent these much minutes. And we can have the cost associated with those interactions. Like for an example, while sending a cover sheet, it cost around 5 rupees, and the duration could be 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So we can record those things, and based on that, we can see the group statistics. Now I'm going to description. So this is basically a description of this particular code. Uh, Now this is a word template code. So word template code, if you could see here, specify the word template to use when you create communication for an interaction. The word template will create either a document or to be used as a body text in email, right? So I will give you a detail about this particular column later. So I'm moving to other fields. If you could see, this is a wizard action. So here you could see three options, which is open, import, and merge. So what does mean for these different field? If you could see the description given by Microsoft, specify the action to perform when you click next in the first page of the create interaction guide. Blank result is no action. Open will fill out the template, and open the email editor when you can edit the text if needed. Merge will fill out and template send it automatically. So what happens? Let me explain you this into detail. First one is like what happens when we create the interaction, then it opens a interaction wizard page. Okay, so if we click on the open button or create interaction button on that wizard page, let me showcase you how. So if I go to contact master, and click here on process, create interaction. So once I click on OK button after filling the information, and I will explain these fields in later. So if I click on the OK button, then what action would be performed? Okay. So do you finish? No. Okay. So if I see here, so what action would be performed? So blank means there would be no action. Nothing would be happen. Only a interaction log entry would be created. Next one is import. Import means we can import a file to the interaction. Like what happens in business scenario, like we have created a document. It could be a Word document, PDF file or something. And while creating an interaction, I just want to email that one, or I would like to import that particular file or any other file to the interaction. Then I can use the import function. Uh, open means open means uh, when we click on the OK button, then whatever the template information we have, either it could be a Word template. So for an example, in a Word template, we have put some data. So that data would be opened in the Word template, sorry, in the email editor option if we are having the email function, and then we can click OK button to finalize the same. Merge means it won't open any email editor sort of things. Like if it is directly email one, then it will send email directly to the email address which is mentioned on the contact master. Then next one is the correspondence type. So correspondence type means how you would like to send your interaction, your communication. First one is the hard copy, email, and fax. So blank means no correspondence type by default. Hard copy means it will directly send to the printer. So because currently we are doing the Business Central, uh, which is a web client, which doesn't work with direct printing option. So if you run this into NAV and you are having your printer setup, then automatically your interaction will be printed through a printer. Then next one would be email. Email means if you are having an email address setup and email account setup in your Business Central tenant, then you can email the particular document. And fax is also same. You can fax the document. Next one is default, language code default. So language code default means if you are having a different language for your the other than your normal language, then you can have this language code here, and you can select multiple different languages based on the communication. So for an example, if you are connecting with a Chinese person, you are French person, and you would like to communicate in other language, so you could have a different language for that interaction. Next one is the attachment. If you would like to import any file as an attachment, so you can import it. So what will happen whenever you will create any interaction, that file will automatically be attached with your interaction. Next one is ignore contact correspondence type. It means if you have specified uh, any correspondence type in the contact master, then system will ignore that correspondence type and will use the correspondence type which is mentioned in the correspondence type default table. Then other few fields are unit cost. Unit cost means whatever the estimated cost which is associated with the interaction. So for an example, if you are sending an email, if you are sending a printed copy, then you estimated cost is, for an example, $2 or $1, then you can mention it, and based on that you can take your business decisions. Then the next one is unit duration minutes. So whatever time you have spent for doing a one interaction, so you can mention it here, and you can uh, check it later, whatever the total time you have spent, right? So these other fields are basically the information related fields. So if you see here information flow means uh, whatever the informations you are doing. So for an example, the information or interaction either you are doing with the client or client is doing with you. So there are two options, which is outbound and inbound. Outbound means the information is going outside. Inbound means information is coming inside. right? Then next one is initiated by. Initiated by means whether this interaction is initiated by us or initiated by the client. So we can select it for the information purpose. And then we are having the campaign numbers, campaign target, and campaign response. So these are the three fields which are related to a campaign. So first one is the campaign number. So for an example, we have organized a campaign for the sales function, sales activity. Like in the Dubai, we are having a Dubai Expo, and there we have arranged our stall, and lot of people are joining and asking the features about Business Central. Then what we can do, we can define all the interactions that happens with that campaign with the campaign number. And so what we can do, we can easily track that this person is came from that campaign that we have organized on that particular city or country. The next one is the campaign target and campaign response. These two fields are the information fields only. So if I see here, campaign target, which is specified that the contact who is involved in the interaction is the target of the campaign. This is used to measure the response rate of a campaign. So what we will do, like we will, for an example, if we are doing a interaction and we have selected this field, it means we can tell that that particular interaction is basically happen to target target the response rate, target of this campaign. The next one is the response. So if you could see here, specify the interaction template is being used to record the interaction that are a response to a campaign. For example, coupons that are sent in as a response to a campaign. So for an example, if a person came to a stall and during the campaign and they ask, okay, I'm interested, and as a gesture we have given, or a marketing activity, we have given some food coupons to the prospective customer. Then they have given us, then we can target it as a campaign response. So it's just a information field. So now I'm quickly moving to the field which is word template code. So if you could see here, uh, I think I don't have one set up here. So I'm just quickly moving to other company where I have already set a few things. Yep. So if you could see here, there are uh, interaction template. So yeah, we can see here, we can create lot of word templates here, and word template how we can use. So for an example, for creation of the word template, I'm going to word template actions, and I can create a new template. So I'm clicking on the new button and then create a template. So it is the interaction merge data, and we can have a new entity as a source data, for what we are creating a template. So currently I'm creating for interactions only. So clicking on the next button and then add a related entities simple. So it means I can select the tables related to interactions. So which is currently I'm selecting here contact. So what I can have here, I can have the fields related to contact table as a merge field. I will showcase you it later. Then next one is the field prefix. So whatever the fields are there. So you could see specify a prefix that will indicate the field is from related entity. When you are setting up the template, for example, if you are sales, then it will come as a sales as a prefix. So for an example, whatever the fields are there, like number, name, those fields will come with a prefix, like I'm mentioning here contact. So it will come with CN as a prefix. And I can have multiple tables if I need it, but I currently need one table for a simple example. So now I'm moving to next button and clicking on download a blank template. So this will come into the GIF file, right? So I can extract this particular file to unzip this. If you could see here, two files are came. One field, one is the data source field, means it is having the connection of merge fields with this interaction data template. So normally we don't use this data source. We use this template file to have our interactions. So if I click on the enable edit and click on yes. So you could see here, I have already opened a file. Now I'm clicking on the mailing tab. And you could see here there is one option which is called insert merge fields. So there is a different chapter for the merge fields. So how we can using the merging functionality in business in Microsoft Word. But I'm just telling you from the business point of view, from little bit information. So for an example, I would like to write a message to our clients. Hi, and then I want my client name. So I have mentioned hi space and then insert merge field, mention the name, hi contact name, then click on the next space, which is next space, which is next line, I would say. So here I can mention address. So there is a contact address, then I can mention the contact city. So I have mentioned CN right earlier. So you could see all the prefixes CN here. Then I can mention the city and postcode. So I want city, comma, space, postcode. So if I have any postcode, I can have here. Now I would like to mention few message, which is hope you are doing well. It was good to connect with you. Hope you like our demonstration. So whatever the business message we would like to send, we can have it here. And then I can mention here regards. And if it is a username, so I can mention created by username, right? So I'm just saving this template by Control S or by clicking on file and then save button and close this. So once we do this, we can go to Business Central and click on next button, and we can upload the file which we have created. So if I go there, so this is the file that I have created. And then it is next. We can have our template name, which is a CRM part 2. Next, finish. So you could see we have created a template, which is CRM part 2. Now I am selecting it is as a CRM part 2, which is a Word template. So it is mentioned that there is already a attachment. So we cannot use a Word template with an attachment. So I'm changing it here as a CRM part 2. So while I'm sending a business letter interaction, then automatically this CRM part 2 Word template will be used. So let's see a demonstration for this. So I'm into a contact. And if I would like to create an interaction, then I need to click on the process button and then create interaction button. Here, I can use the interaction template, which is interaction template code business letters. And here in the business letter, I have selected email. And yeah, one thing I forgot to mention. we also need to take care about this wizard action. So what would you like to do? So I am using an open button. So open button will open the email editor before sending. Okay. So I'm clicking on OK button, removing it for validation, adding it, and I can mention here evaluation. Evaluation means it is a positive feedback which I have received from the client, and automatically you could see other parameters is selected based on the interaction template, right? So once I click on the OK button, you could see automatically the details are coming, and it's quite amazing, right? You could see here hi, then contact information, then all the other things are here, name, address, city, postcode, whatever the information we are having, it is coming automatically to the interaction template. And it is quite amazing. And if you would like to send an email, so it is automatically a email came from the thing. So what I can use the same email address, which is my email address, and could paste it here. And I can click on the send email option. So sorry, this email, let me clear it out. So this is the valid email address now. So once I click on the send email, so automatically this information can go by email. So why it is coming? Because we have we have selected a open option. If we select the merge option, then automatically this email letter will not be open, and information would automatically be sent to the particular email address. So if I open that email, so you could see the recent email that I have sent automatically came here, right? Now, if I refresh this, and go to that contact Adatam Corporation. So if you could see here, automatically whatever we have selected as a business interaction, automatically this information exists here with the time, right? So like that, we can have multiple interactions, and whatever the interactions that we'll have, like you can see, I have sent a sales order confirmation, then cover sheet is there, sales statements are there, business letter is there. So whatever the interactions I'm doing with the client, it will come here automatically with the information. You could see the salesperson who has created that interaction, the description, attachment, whether it's having any attachment, whether there is any comment, uh, opportunity if it is connected to opportunity, any campaign if it is connected to a campaign, feedback, evaluations that we have selected, and what the date, time, and document number, if it is a sales quote or any other document which is already defined, so that we can have here. So like that, we can have a interaction template. Now I'm moving to interaction template again. And if you could see here, there is few more options, which is attachment. So what we could do if we are having particular attachments that we would like to be have with our particular information, then we can select here attachment, and then attachment would be yes. So you could see here attachment is yes. So I have selected it earlier as a import option, or we can create it, or we can copy it from the other interaction fields. So if I would like to export it, I can click on the export button. And once I do this, you could see here the interaction template with the information. So this is the particular attachment that I have added. It could be anything else. Of course, it would not be the sales code, that is for the test purpose. But for an example, it could be a business brochures or anything that you could mention here. And whenever you create the interaction with this particular interaction template, attachment will automatically be added to your email or print. Okay. Now I'm moving to another thing, which is interaction template setup. And if you could see here, the interaction template setup, there are a lot of things are available, which is general, sales, purchase, and service. 4 are the headers. So these headers are having the different fields. So understand these fields. Like if you could see, there are 5 fields: email, email draft, cover sheets, outgoing call, and meeting invitation. So what does it mean? It means if we are sending an email to any contact, then this email template, interaction template would be used, and automatically the interaction log will be created with this template. If we are having only email draft, then this will be used. If we are printing any cover sheet for any contact, then automatically interaction log entries will be created for this interaction template like this. So if you see here sales, so in the sales we are having the different sales invoices, credit memos, order confirmation. So whatever we are doing, for an example, if we are sending a sales code to the uh, customer or contact, then automatically system will create an interaction log entry if this setup exists. Right. So this will help us if like if you see in the purchase side, if we are printing a purchase order, then automatically a interaction log entry will be created by using this interaction template. So this will help us to record all the transactions, whether we are sending a document, whether we are printing a document, anything. So for an example, let me print a sales quote. So I'm going to sales quote, and inside that, I'm clicking on print sent. This is the contact, which is Trey Research. So I'm printing it, and log interaction is already here. So I'm clicking on the print button. So once I click on the print button, and I can print if I have a printer or something like that, or I can save it to PDF. So once I print this, and if I go to this particular contact, so let me go to contacts, which next it is a Trey Research. So that this is a contact which we have done, and you could see here automatically the sales code is created. And if you see earlier one, this is the latest one. See, yeah. So this is the latest one. We are having the automatic sales code for the date at that time here. And you could see here who has created this sales code. Salesperson name is also coming. Right. So like that, if we are printing any purchase order or anything, system will create the interaction log entries, and that will help us to identify the whatever the interactions that we have done. Right. Now, uh, we are having interaction log entries. So whatever we are doing interactions with our contacts, so system will log the interaction log entries. So most of the fields are self-explanatory. So what I'm looking for here, how we can create a interaction log entry, so that we have already told. Now the question is, if we would like to cancel an interaction log entry, how we can cancel, right? So here is the option, which is switch check mark in cancel. So for an example, there are a lot of entries we would like to mark as cancellation. We don't want to use those interaction log entries anymore. It could be created by accident, or we don't want to use it for any other reason. So we can check mark, we can select even multiple entries and select those entries as a switch check mark as cancelled. Yes. And once we have selected those check marks, you could see here this check mark boolean cancelled is true. Now, if we would like to cancel these button or delete these cancelled entries, so we can click on this delete button, delete cancelled entries, and we can have a filter here if we would like to have any other specified filter. So what system will do, based on the filters and where the cancelled boolean is true, system will delete these entries. So you could see 4 entries were there earlier, where we have selected as cancelled, and system has deleted those entries from the interaction log entry. Now the next process is if any interaction is having any attachment, so you could click show attachment and system will showcase the attachment. We can directly create other interactions and opportunity from those interaction entries if there is any. Next one is comment. If we would like to add any comment to the interaction even after logging it, we can add it here. Then few other options are there. Next, first is the resend one. Check mark we have already checked. So resend one. If we would like to resend the same interaction to the contact. So if I click here, you could say here resend attachment. So what you would like to do, correspondence same as entry, hard copy, email or fax. So for an example, if correspondence earlier was email, so it will directly do same as entry, or we can have a different correspondence type here as well. So and here we can have a filter on the interaction log entries and update merge field if we are using any merging fields. And after that, if we have updated any merge fields, then we can make it boolean true. And if I click on the OK button, there is nothing to send because only Word documents can be resent, right? So if there is any entry, so like that we can have it. And these are the mostly things. Evaluate interaction. So for an example, after interaction has been completed, we would like to change it or evaluate an interaction. Then we can select it. It was a positive one, so I can click on OK and it will update with the evaluation feedback that we are having. Similarly, we can have a different task, and tasks are a different topic in Business Center. So we can have different tasks associated with that interaction. So for an example, if we would want a resales team to demonstrate a demo for a particular one to the client, so we can assign a task to the team. Okay, for this opportunity, you have to do this task. So like that, we can mention or create the different tasks in Business Central. So this is the main things which we can have in interaction management in Business Central. So if you are having any questions, please feel free to connect me. Uh, so anytime you can have a comment on your comment box and I will reply. Thank you so much. Have a great day.